is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Sports Talk 305 network is back. It's time to talk Miami Dolphins football with the greatest fan base in the world. EJDconstruction.com is fully insured, liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shope. Here's your host, the Big O.
It wasn't pretty, okay? I know it wasn't pretty, but hey, at least they won, which is really all we can ask for right now as a Miami Dolphins fan. It was one of those performances that will leave you a little frustrated, put it that way. You know, go ahead, Sean.
I was going to say frustrating, but 7-3, baby.
Yes.
7-3.
Yes, and listen, we talked about this in the pregame show, didn't we? We told you that the only way you're going to stay, the Raiders will stay in this game by what? Mistakes and turnovers and penalties, and that's exactly what happened. Tua played loose with the football. One of the things about Tua that is absolutely awesome is that he's fearless. But part of being fearless means that he will not be afraid to throw anything. And anything that will even make you uncomfortable, like throwing it in between three guys. That kind of stuff. And that's basically what he did. He had a couple turnovers. You had the missed field goal. You had penalties. It's just way too many mistakes along the way. And that's the only reason why this thing was a game. Really. The only reason why we're sitting here and we're talking about it, and it's the kind of game that you're going to be unhappy because it's 20-13 when you know the Dolphins are way better than the Raiders, but they didn't play like that today. You know what I mean? And so that's where it kind of leaves you in kind of in the dark at the moment because you're 7-3. Hey, look, I can go around the NFL right now. The Chargers are losing, right? Oh, they lost already? So the Chargers lost to a bad Green Bay Packers team. You know what I'm saying? So the Dolphins winning this game, we can act spoiled, and we're going to act a little spoiled about this. It wasn't exactly what we wanted, but in the end, it was a victory. Now, you could play like crap and then be the Steelers and lose to the Browns. The Lions, they played a bad game today against the Bears, but survived 31-26. Jared Goff threw 3 interceptions today, but you won. So you beat a bad Bears team, but you got by at least. Packers beat the Chargers. So Justin Herbert is now 4-6. So are the Packers, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So you look at it, Justin Herbert today, 260 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nothing really special. By the way, Keenan Allen had 118 yards and a touchdown. Did that guy start him?
Should have had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he should have had 2 touchdowns. That's true. So it's probably what he's saying. Should have had 2 touchdowns. So, listen, am I happy with the performance? Hell no. The defense has come around. It's, even though they weren't really tested because it's Aiden O'Connell, but the defense played really well today. You know what I'm saying? But the offense, it was a pathetic performance. It just was. There's really no other way to look at it. Unfortunately, Tyreek stayed in the game after injuring his hand. Tua looked like he got banged up at the end of the half. He stayed in the game. Achane looks like, he was not actually, part of the mix because he got injured right away. So after missing all that time, Achane comes back and he's injured once again. I mean, it was kind of a rough day. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't pretty, but I will say this: they won. And in the end, that's the part that we've got to be happy that this team found a way to win the damn game. You know what I'm saying? And kudos to the Raiders because they're not very good because of that quarterback spot. They're in transition because of everything that's gone on, and they hung in there, man. They mucked it up. They made it ugly, and that's the only way they were going to hang in this game and make it a game. And that's exactly what they did. And the Dolphins pretty much played into their hands. You let a bad team hang around, and the Chargers couldn't beat the bad team that they let hang around. Miami did. The Lions did. So in the end, they won the game. Okay? So that's what really matters, that they ended up winning the game. We had a good time out here at Walk-Ons. We've had a good time out here at Walk-Ons. A lot of people walked away with prizes. It was good stuff. We thank, of course, Perdomo Cigars and Caneswear for helping us out as always. Appreciate it. Appreciate all our great sponsors. EJDconstruction.com, great sponsor of ours. Appreciate all of you guys out there as always. And those of you that came on down here and joined us, thank you. We'll be out here again next month for the Raiders game. That's on the 31st, the 1 o'clock game. So we'll get you ready. That way you can come on out here before you do all your New Year's Eve activities. You can watch the Dolphins with us. They'll beat the Ravens, and we'll have a bunch of prizes and giveaways too at the same time. So. Yes. We needed a tough win to build on. Tyon, I would prefer that this one not be the tough win. I kind of expect it with the Jets because their defense is elite. But this one, I would have rather enjoyed a little bit more of a comfortable win. I got to tell you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? But the defense, they came up big. Big, big, big. Is Devin Jordan the first super chat? Put it up first. Yes, Alexander. Yes, Alexander's always there to bust balls. Okay. He says, Big O, you can buy a Mario Cristobal blow-up doll. Damn, dude. I don't know if that would be that sexy of a blow-up doll. But I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Next up, it's Devin. Okay. Big O, ugly win, but I'll take it. Damn right. That's what I was saying. It was not a win that will satisfy us. It's kind of what I talked about in the pregame show. You want to play stupid football? You're going to keep them around. And they played stupid football. By the way, that screen with Tyreek, you got him injured and fumbled in the last couple of games. Maybe we want to take that one out of the playbook there, Mike. Mateo, thank you, sir. He says, buy my Jalen Ramsey jersey. Extend him. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo, and nothing celebrates a donation like a Bitcoin donation. So Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cy Love All says Tua looked his best when Hill was out, was getting everybody involved. Well, there was one where he was forcing it to Waddle with three guys. His confidence is so supreme that it's like he feels he can fit it anywhere, which is dangerous. But it's great because you do want your quarterback to be fearless. Man of 1,005 holds to McDaniel, run on third down, 3rd and 1. Come on. Yeah, I know he's abandoned the run, bro. I got the Cy Lavelle one. All right. Let me see it. All right. Pull it up. All right. My beautiful assistant is leaving, my wife. All right. I don't know. Here we go. Carlos, Big O, I am now officially concerned with our offense. This is not going to work in the playoffs. No, don't start with that. I'm not. We got a long time to go. They were off for a couple of weeks. McDaniel kind of, Tua and McDaniel. Tua's got to play more responsible with the football. By the way, no more diving, Tua. That's why the fumble happened, dude. And please don't tell me, if he slides, he may not get the first. I don't give a shit. Was this the fourth quarter of a game, like a playoff game or something? Was this a Super Bowl or something? Was this the end of the game? No, dude. It was the first quarter. That was a stupid play by Tua Tagovailoa. No more diving. You slide. You dive, you put yourself at risk to injure your shoulder. You are a quarterback. Injure a wrist. Oh, and by the way, when you're diving, they can also hit you. So when you're sliding, you're protecting yourself. If you don't get the first down, punt. I don't give a shit. What I don't want is stupid stuff like what Tua did there. He's played really smart throughout the year. Stay away from the stupid moves. And diving is stupid in a meaningless moment in a game. If the season's on the line or the game's on the line, then I understand. But nothing was on the line at that moment. In fact, what'd you do? You turned it over. So would you rather slide and not turn it over and still make the first down or not make the first down? Or would you rather dive, risk injury, or turnover? How stupid do you want to be? Because I know how stupid Tua was at that moment. Okay? And nobody is a bigger Tua supporter than I am. But I'm the first guy to say when he's not doing something right. Because when he was getting injured, I pointed out why he was getting injured. Okay? So I get some of you get all a little sensitive and all that bullshit. I don't play that game here. Okay? I love Tua. I think he's a winner. I think he's going to win a Super Bowl for the Dolphins when it's all said and done. But when he's not doing something right, I'm going to say it. And diving at that moment was catastrophically stupid. You're injury prone, stupid. You can get hit, stupid. You can jam your shoulders, your wrist, your elbow, stupid. You can fumble. You did, stupid. You slide, you're safe. No fumble, maybe you get the first, maybe you don't, but there's no turnover and there's no injury. Slide, no more diving. Christian, ugly 14-point favorite. McDaniel play calling has been questionable last 2 games. D has been golden. Offense needs to be better versus Jets D. Amen. Way better, dude. Way better. What happened? Oh, wow. Got walloped there. Damn. Let's see. Vinny Lenya. Big O, I hope they get a deal done with Wilkins. He's so important on that line. Dude, he made a tackle 37 yards downfield. That was good. Humble Legend, thank you for the love in the super chat. Durag Tua looks and plays dumb. Not a good look. So you don't like the durag? Lucas Stames. Just watch Herbert Cutler lose the ball in his hands. He has no rally in him. Oh, bro, Herbert has no balls. That's what I keep telling everybody. He's not a guy that has that edge. He's a surfer boy. He's a California kid. The Nautical Hippo, thank you, sir. Does Tua being reckless with the ball show his confidence in his defense? No, it shows a confidence in himself. And sometimes he's getting a little too cocky with that. Gordon Shumway, thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. Marino had that confidence too. Sometimes that would lead to interceptions. He is 1,000% right. But sometimes it led to some amazing plays. Tua just needs to learn to pick his spots when he tries to make those throws. Boom. You are correct, sir. Can't argue with that, Gordon. Adam, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Remember, Cash App or Venmo, I'm going to go to it now. Cash Big O Show. You can send your questions, comments, insults, compliments there, and you can make a Bitcoin donation, which, you know, that'll get me really excited. Adam, do we go for the Bills or the Jets today? It doesn't really matter. Dude, you beat the Bills the next time around, it doesn't matter. Beat the Jets twice, it doesn't matter. The Dolphins are controlling their entire destiny. We're no longer that team that needs help from other people. They're good enough to do it by themselves, dude. They're good enough to have home field advantage by themselves. You guys need to start acting like the fan base. Why do you think I was so pissed in the Buffalo loss? Because I know that based on the talent they have, the coaching staff, they're not 28 points worse than the Bills. That's why I was pissed, because this is a special team. They just need to find a way to put it all together. So, and I think some of you need to pick up that confidence and demand that from them. That's why I was pissed a couple of weeks ago, because I know they're better. This isn't Dave Wanstead's teams. This isn't Tony Sparano. This isn't Adam Gase. This is way better. Way better. So they don't need help from, I don't give a shit what happens to the Bills and the Jets. You know what I want to see? I want to see them all turn it over 100 times. I want to see them look like a disaster. Both of them. And I don't care who wins. Because you know what? I'll give you something. The Jets have no quarterback, so they're never going to get anywhere and done. I want the Bills to win. I want the Bills to keep winning and put all the pressure on Miami because I want Miami to pass that test. I don't want to get a crippled Bills team or something like that, or a demoralized one weeks from now that has no shot. I hope they win. I hope they win a bunch of games. How about that? I need to see my Dolphins. You know, I can tell a lot of you didn't live the Shula era. That's what I think. I think there's a lot of you under 40, 45 that you have no freaking idea what it's like to follow a franchise that is like, you know, one of the best in the league, where you walk into the building all the time thinking you're going to win, where you're confident that your coach is better than their coach. You guys, most of you don't have that. You've never had that feeling. And that's, you know, that's kind of our issue right now. We need to transition over, you know? And Jason Sanders, by the way, is not a championship kicker. That's a problem. I don't give a shit he made the 51-yarder. He doesn't make enough 50-yarders. And that's a huge problem. You're supposed to make 50 and 51-yarders like routine nowadays. I should be able to go to you with a 55-yarder with confidence. I can't go to that guy with a 50-yarder with confidence. No doubt, says Jalen is a freak. Fins up. Yes, sir. Thank God he didn't get injured there at the end. Phil Montgomery, thank you for the love in the super chat. Offense had zero energy in the second half. They looked like they were going through the motions. We need more fire in these guys. And play smarter, dude. I just need to play smarter. Play up to your potential. And you got a shit ton of potential on this team. Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And let me see what we got here on Venmo. We start off with Steve M. Hateful Steve. Let's see. Oh, we've been wait a minute. Oh, we've been getting along lately, but Tua's mediocre November isn't made better because of Herbert doesn't do. As we get closer to December, you can't tell me he's instilling confidence in his decision making. I have all the confidence in the world in him, Steve. But I think at the moment, he's a little too big for his own britches, to use a old man term, okay? He is a little too cocky, a little too big-headed. He needs to tone it down a little bit. He is overconfident in his ability to put it in these tight windows, and they are irresponsible decisions on his part. So I can't tell you you're wrong, because you should be questioning it right now. I think he's smart enough to go, you know, because he's already shown me that he learns from this kind of stuff. So somebody's got to reach him, especially McDaniel, and get him to make better decisions. But I'm with you in the sense that you can't keep doing this, dude. You can't. Peter German, thank you for the love on Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. A win is a win, and I'll take it. Ramsey is awesome. X-Man looks past his prime. I'm giving up on McDaniel ever learning to run on 3rd and 4th downs. Every defense knows it. Yeah, it's he outsmarts himself. I can't argue with any of that. Joe Cracciola, good teams win ugly. D is looking like they can carry some of the load. Love the show. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, my brother. Greg Sash, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Appreciate that. Very, very nice. Very nice. Thank you all out there, as always. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And, of course, you can make a Bitcoin donation, which, you know, we love our Bitcoin donations. All right. Next up, it is Devin Jordan. Big O, they can't keep playing sloppy like this offensively. Also, what's up with McDaniel's play calling on 3rd and short? We're all on the same page here. I think if there's something all of us have been on the same page since last year till now, is that McDaniel still outsmarts himself. And, bro, keep it simple, stupid. Start it short, run the damn ball. And by the way, that stupid screen to Tyreek Hill, we got a fumble and an injury now in the last 2 times. I mean, at what point do you learn your lesson that you're not very effective as a team? You can't get Smythe, you can't get Craycraft, you can't get anybody to block it. So you got to cut that out. Again, whether it's Hateful Steve or Devin now, you guys are making great points. You're right on target. Doesn't O look like Ron Jeremy? You seen me naked? Anyway, John Romano, where can I buy your hat, Big O? You can't. Although I did buy an extra. I have a second one. That's a collector's item. I'm not wearing it ever. And this one I only wear indoors. I will not go anywhere that I have to sweat this hat up. But this, I bought this in the Hall of Fame when they inducted Zach. Sean and I went to cover the event, and I bought the hat, and it was. You know what? Go to the Hall of Fame website. I'm not sure if they're all sold out. I know that while we were there, they sold out, but I don't know if they, did more. So I would tell you, the only place you're going to find it is in the Hall of Fame store. So if the Hall of Fame store still has them, you might be able to buy one. If they don't, maybe one day I'll put my other one on eBay and you can bid for it. It's a pretty sweet hat, isn't it? This is one of my favorite hats now. This is like one of those hats that I have a collection of Dolphin hats that I cherish, and I try not to dirty or anything like that. Like I only put them in places like this or like that. That's how I treat the hats. You know what I'm saying? I have other hats that I'll wear in hot days somewhere and sweat them up. I don't care. But this kind of hat, no. We got to take care of this, baby. Brad Means says, defense finally coming together. Could carry us through some tough games coming up. Amen. Cy Lovall says, knock on DA before draft was he wasn't big enough to be an every down back. How worried should we be about his ability to stay healthy? You should. And here's the thing. When they first drafted him, if you listen to the show, go back and listen to it. Okay? It's just consistent as a mofo, dude. Just got to go listen to the show, and you'll see the consistency always. We told you that he was kind of targeted to have 5 or 10 carries a game. They've overworked him. And that's because the production was through the roof. So you said, well, let's see how long he can go. And you may have to go back to kind of you may have to go to the original plan you had where he was going to be a complementary piece. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you kind of, look at it. Vinny Lenya, I'm 26 years old. This is the most confident I've ever been as a Dolphins my whole life. Vinny, you should be, my brother. Take it from an old fart that's been around watching since the days of Greasy and Shula. This is the best front office since the 70s. This is the best roster since the early 90s. And they have to perform in order to get to the 80s and beyond. But roster-wise, I will put this up to the early 90s team, and I think it's better, actually, because I think this defense is better than the early 90s. Obviously, Marino's the edge on that side. But still, Tua's great in his own right, but the defense here is better than what we had in the early 90s. So I'm telling you, if you are in your 30s or 40 or 25, I'm telling you, this is the best Dolphins roster you've had since the early 90s. And the best front office since the freaking 70s, dude. Scary. So, Vinny, stay confident, my brother. God bless you, dude. Ronald Katz is in the house. Yeah. Boca jaw surgery. Yeah. He says, ugly win. I expected a lot more after the bye. I agree, Doc. I agree. And, folks, there's my guy, Ronnie Katz, big Dolphins fan, season tickets. You're going to love him. While he's working on your jaw, you can't talk to him. But once he's done with your jaw, you can talk to him all you want about the Dolphins. Loves it. I'm telling you, he's great, dude. They got it all. Get it done. So, Boca jaw surgery. Call my guy, Ronnie Katz. Good people. Manny J. Snow. Thank you, sir. I'll take the win. Did not have to did not have to be a nerve fest. Irritated. 3 turnovers will lose most games in this league. Agree? It's a sloppy game, dude. Sloppy game. The offense, you know, the old Mad Dog line. The offense today must stare at its shoelaces and make no contact with anybody out on the street. Do not stare anybody in the eye. Okay? That's it. Yes?
They posted a stat during the game. The NFL, when they lose the turnover ratio,
oh, God.
Teams in the NFL are 18-35 this year.
Yeah.
Total.
Of course.
The Dolphins are now 5-1.
Wow.
They were 4-1 heading into this game. Now 5-1.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
So we win even though we lose the turnover ratio. And most of the time you lose.
Because remember, we lost the turnover, I believe, to the Giants and the Panthers.
Yes.
Because I think we turned the ball over and kept it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I forgot we lost it to the Panthers. I know we lost it to the Giants. Wow. Holy shit. Yeah. Kevin Beal, Jesus loves you, Big O. So don't you think it's a lock? Jerome Baker comes back, pay him similar to Long's contract. He's only 26. He always is healthy. I'm not sure. They got a lot of people to pay. So I'm not sure. It all depends on what the number is and everything else. But, listen, we still have the rest of the season and the playoffs. So Jerome Baker could continue to, create more value for himself. No doubt that David Long definitely fits what they want to do. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Chris Dravez, what happened to Waddle this year? Just seems like a guy. Seems like Tua's trust in Cedric has grown. Waddle's been dealing with injuries, dude. It's kind of been a rough year for him. And yes, it's been very nice to see Cedric. By the way, Cedric's even helping out as a punt returner. He's doing himself a serviceable job. God bless him, dude. He's really done a nice job to kind of keep himself in the mix. But I think with Waddle, it's about injuries, my brother. I just think it's been a rough go for Waddle. Ray Martinez, thank you, sir, for the love, brother. I appreciate that. Wow. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ray. Very nice of you, my man. Very, very nice, brother. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you, sir.
And I lied. They're still 4-1.
Oh, yeah? Why?
Apparently, we tied the Raiders 3-3. I forgot about the last interception by Jalen Ramsey. O'Connell threw.
Okay. All right. And he says, for the great job, Big O. Thank you. Thank you, Ray. Very nice. Very nice of you. Cash App or Venmo. That's Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Anthony Lizzie on Venmo. Big O, so thankful for your show. Really appreciate you. I'll take the win, but something is off about the Dolphins. What is it? The running game. I think the running game takes them out of rhythm. I think it puts even Tua in a better rhythm, like any quarterback. Because when you've got play action working, it becomes a real threat and it opens it up. It opens up the middle of the field. And so they're struggling to run the ball at times. They have not had the kind of success. Let me see if I'm correct. Lately, am I right? Am I right here, Sean? Lately, they have not really had a ton of success running the ball in several games here lately. And I think
today they're under 100 yards.
99 yards,
Yep.
28 for 99 yards. So that's not even a good average.
Against the Chiefs, I don't think it was much better. I'm going there right now.
No, it wasn't. You look at the Chiefs.
Well, they did 117 yards, but 21 attempts, 5.6 average. So they actually did run the ball pretty well. They just didn't run it a lot, I guess.
They didn't run it a lot, exactly. So they don't. And then against New England, they had 78 yards. So I think that a lot of the stuff that's going on, their offense really isn't in the kind of sync that it was in when A-Chain and everything else was kind of rolling. Philadelphia.
45 yards against Philadelphia.
Yeah, exactly. And then Carolina. What did they do against Carolina? Did they that one was Mostert had a good game, if I remember correctly, against Carolina. He had 100 yards in that one. That might have been the last game where they actually had a groove at running.
162 yards.
Yeah.
They rushed it, though, 33 times.
Right.
Again, it's the 12 for 45. It's the 17 for 103. But when they rush it for more times, it opens up.
Yeah. I think lately they got to get that running game going. And by the way, isn't the Jets next week? Right, Friday. Dude, it's going to be tough to run on those guys. So I think that's been the challenge for this team. And here's where coaching matters. And McDaniel's got to do a better job of coaching. Like today, they weren't having a lot of success against the run. It was just one of those deals where, the Raiders, they're pretty decent on defense. I'm going to give them a little love. They deserve a little love, So I would say if you could get the running game going, and I think Tua needs to be slightly more patient because he's forcing the ball in certain situations that he just shouldn't be forcing it. Okay? So that's what I would say. Anthony, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Cash App or Venmo, that is Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Marco Ferrante, thank you, sir. Appreciate you sending in a couple of Cash Apps for win or lose. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, Marco. That is very nice of you, my friend. Thank you all out there. The way you guys support our platform, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Always appreciate that immensely. Very, very nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, what else do we have? Let's go over some of the stats, because the stats will kind of blow you away, because you look at although O'Connell did get some yards towards the back end of the game, but Miami wins 20-13, right? And then when you look at the stats, because what was it, halfway, like halftime or third quarter, I was looking at the stats, and they were absolutely lopsided. And yet the score was right, and that's because of the turnovers and the mistakes. So Miami had 21-12 advantage in first downs. Okay? Third down efficiency, Miami was 3 of 11. Raiders were 4 of 14. So neither one was really effective overall. Miami had 422 yards of offense to 296. Miami had 323 passing yards to 260. They averaged 6.2 yards per play to 5.0 to the Raiders. They averaged 8.1 yards per pass to 6 for the Raiders. Now, the Raiders, they threw 3 interceptions. Miami threw 1. Rushing, Miami outrushed them 99-36. By the way, defense shut down Josh Jacobs in a big-time way. Penalties, 5 for 44 for Miami, 5 for 41 for the Raiders. Penalties weren't the difference. Turnovers were tied at 3 apiece. Time of possession, 32-15 Miami, 27-45 Raiders. And the difference was 1 score. Because you played stupid football. Because you fumbled the ball, because you threw interceptions, because you committed penalties. My God, Connor Williams. Yo, dude. Out of all people to move, you. And it wasn't a bad snap today for him. It wasn't a bad snap. Ronnie Katz says, loving Jalen Ramsey, go Knowles, baby. God, what happened to Travis yesterday? That was criminal, dude. Criminal. Yes, sir, Devin. R.I.P. to Rosalind Carter, Jimmy Carter's wife. Yeah. But what happened to Travis, man? God. Life has a way of just humbling the hell out of all of us. It's crazy. It really is. True Fin fan says, I'm a Tua guy. Think he's really good, but how many open receivers am I supposed to ignore? It's he's listen, he's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? He's not perfect, but he's still way better than anything we've ever had here since Marino. So we got to remember he's still growing. It's not like he's a finished product. He's going to make mistakes. He's not going to be perfect, but he's absolutely fantastic. So we got to take the good with the bad. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to quarterbacks, it's not something that happens to all of them that they all of a sudden become perfect and never make any bad decisions or mistakes. Look, man, at least he's not the idiot off the field. At least he's not lazy. At least he's a winner. At least he's a hard worker. He's willing to be coached. He will improve off of his mistakes. Okay? Is he a little stubborn? Yeah, and I think talented people in all walks of life, when they have confidence in their ability, there's a level of stubbornness there anyways that comes naturally, only because it comes from confidence. It's not the kind of stubbornness that is ignorant. It's the kind of stubbornness that drives you to be great. And that's what some of these guys have, and I think Tua has that. You know what I'm saying? So as much as it pisses me off that he dove, just like it pissed me off last year when he put his shoulder into somebody and he comes to the sidelines to tell Mike, oh, no, I needed that. No, you don't, dude. No, you don't. No quarterback needs that. Don't give me that shit. Okay? But, it's kind of the way it is. Confident people are going to have an edge to them because they are used to succeeding in areas that others don't, at levels that others don't. So they have this confidence that you cannot control. It's what makes them who they are, in a way. Let me piss off my man Hateful Steve out there, but it's the thing that I don't think Justin Herbert has. He's the guy that easily gets scared. He's the guy that will not throw into that difficult window when he's having a hard time, when he's been intimidated, when he's had failure and all that. Tua will not. Tua will not back down. Okay? I told you, Tua is my Yorkie. Okay? I got 4 dogs. The smallest one is my Yorkie. He weighs about 3.5 pounds. He is the most fearless animal I have ever seen in my life. And it makes no sense. But you're not going to take that away from Ziggy. Ziggy will attack anything and everything, and he doesn't care if he's attacking a Tyrannosaurus Rex. He thinks he's going to win. He'll be barking at it, and he thinks he's going to intimidate the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Not a dog of 150 pounds. Not a gorilla of 1,000 pounds. No. A Tyrannosaurus Rex that is maybe 10 stories tall. My little Ziggy will attack it. Really stupid dog. But I love him. Oh. Anyway. I love to see Waddle come to life when Hill went out of the game. Kind of curious how the offense will look when we don't have Hill. Well, I don't want to find out. Okay? I'd like to keep Hill here as long as we can because it's kind of fun to watch that guy play because people are literally scared to cover that guy. My concern with Tua is how far can you go with a small, unathletic QB? I don't know. How far did you go with Drew Brees? I don't know. How far was that? By the way, how athletic was Joe Montana? How far did you go with him? Not very athletic, not very big either. You went pretty far with him, right? Yeah. It's these arguments are only out of pure convenience. That's all. That whole small QB thing is just stupid shit that you hear from somebody else, but like life tells you and the history of it tells you you can do anything you want. It's up to him to play the smart way. And he's doing it for now, except for that dive today. Let's see. Down goes another Jets left tackle, Mekhi Becton, walking off the field with a heavy limb. Well, he's always injured. I'm actually surprised that he's still on the roster at this time and not on IR. That guy's been a sack of injuries the entire time. People in talent professions always put themselves and test their limits. Ragin is right. He's right. It's not about the truth about Herbert, Steven, but not surprised if the hate from Big Ho. Yeah, no, you should not be surprised with the hate. Tua is not Joe Montana or Breeze. I know his name is Tua Tagovailoa. The other guy's named Joe Montana, and then the other guy's name is Drew Brees, right? Drew Brees. Yeah, no, they're definitely not. None of them are. You're right. And Joe Montana is not Tua Tagovailoa. You know what I'm saying? And neither is Drew Brees. So, you know what I'm saying? Neither one of those guys, by the way, came off the bench to win a national championship. Because that's how they spin it. Oh, Drew Brees won a championship and Joe Montana won 4. He's no Tua Tagovailoa. Okay, well, Joe Montana and Drew Brees didn't win a national championship. So, I don't know. But that's all right. I get it, bro. You're a Tua disbeliever, and you will continue, and you'll use any weapon you can to try to discredit Tua. It's fine. Huh? Who?
Did they win the championships in the fourth season? Montana. I mean, I know
Montana
Breeze
never won.
Breeze got traded away in his fourth season.
Yeah, but Montana did not win a championship. He was in the 70s, in the early 80s,
it was young.
Notre Dame.
No. I mean, I'm talking about in the Super Bowl though. Even the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
If you look at their NFL careers, did he win it in the first 4 years? Montana and Breeze.
Montana wasn't the first. It was. I think it was might have been by his third year.
Third year, he's good.
I
know it was.
Go look at it.
I'll check it out.
I want to say.
I know Breeze didn't because Breeze was getting replaced.
Yeah, I want to say it might have been his. Yeah, it might have been his second or third year that he won it. Actually, Montana was special, bro. Montana had that it factor, and he didn't have an arm. He throws a lot like Tua. They're exactly kind of the same type of throwers. But it's just accuracy and ball placement and anticipatory skills and intelligence. You weren't going to take that away from Montana. Montana had it. Most of you didn't live this, but it's funny because the whole argument with Montana and Marino or Kelly or what, and Montana maybe had half the talent that Marino and Kelly had, but he has way more championships than all those guys. It's funny because sometimes you're so in love thinking about the athletic ability, you lose the fact that there's more to it than that. And Montana is a great example of a guy that did not possess anything special. Not size, not arm, not height, not athleticism, but he will beat your ass every time because this is what's undefeated. As long as you have enough ability, this is undefeated. So, Tua threw 2 touchdowns for over 300 yards. Yes. And by the way, I don't think a lot of people pass for over 300 yards on the Raiders. That's the other thing. I think you could look it up. Tua did all right today. He's just got the bad decisions. That's the only reason why these guys were in the game. That's it. They were in this game because you allowed them to get in the game. That's all. So, don't even compare Tua to Montana or Breeze, please. We won't. Championships are wins. Our team wins. Yep, exactly. Why does Tua amp up his team? Why doesn't he amp up his team on the sidelines? Not every quarterback does that. I'm not sure what you're talking about, dude. By the way, Montana was not Mr. Rah-Rah guy either. Just so you'll know. Tom Wilson, thank you for the love on the super chat. Lawrenceville, Georgia, with family, South Florida born, and been listening to you since the days of the Mad Dog, Hammer and Hank and Neil. They are missed, Big O. Thank you for your 30 years of spot-on Phinz analysis. Thank you, sir. That was very nice of you. Appreciate you. Wish you could have been down here with us at Walk-Ons. We had a really good time. Montana won the Super Bowl in his 3rd year. So I knew it was somewhere right there. Yeah, right. Yeah. 3rd year. 2nd year as a starter. Those were no. Montana had awesome teams. And that, you're going to need a team to win a Super Bowl. You're not going to carry yourself. He had a great line. He had a great defense. Although in the first Super Bowl, he didn't have the kind of weapons he then had for the other Super Bowls. Yes, sir.
His stats in the Super Bowl, 83 of 122 for 1,142 yards, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions.
You mean playoffs?
No, this is Super Bowl appearances.
Oh, appearances, Super Bowl appearances. Okay, my bad.
And his total is 83 for 122, 1,142 yards, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions, passer rating of 127.8.
Money. He was a money player. He's as money as it gets, Montana. As money as it gets. He is one of the most clutch players I have ever seen in my entire life. And that cannot be argued. Anybody that lived it. I'm a Dolphins fan. I hated when he beat our asses and all that stuff, but I will never take that credit away from him. Do we have anything yet? Do we have McDaniel or Tua? And Tua hasn't gone on. Okay, and then and see if we get the guys going. The stat padding at the end of the half and the yak is what put Tua over. It doesn't matter what stat it is, bro. It doesn't matter. It's all together. Those things aren't excuses. Yeah, Montana had a number 1 defense. He had an offensive line. He had Hall of Fame receiver, Hall of Fame tight end. He had he had one of the best coaches in the history of the game in Bill Walsh. The Dolphins have now won 17 of their past 19 games played at Hard Rock Stadium. The last time Miami had a home stretch like this good was 10-30-83 to 1-4-86 when the team went 23-2 at the Orange Bowl. God, the Orange Bowl was fun. Focus on Him Ministry says, we come out of a bye and Tua has 325 yards, 2 touchdowns, quarterback rating 103. Yeah, he's just got to make better decisions. That's all, dude. And take care of his body. That's what he's got to do. That's it. That's all, dude. It's not I don't think it's anything, earth-shattering that, oh my God, we gotta, it's what's it called? Like the season's on the brink or something's wrong or something. No, dude, we're good. This is not, I don't think this is a problem whatsoever for the Dolphins. It's just a matter of them playing smarter. That's it. Get healthier, get smart when you're playing these kind of teams. And they've done this a couple of times this year where they kind of don't get up for this opponent. That's the other thing that we've kind of noticed, right? The Giants, it's happened like that a couple of times that you're playing the lesser team and you're not necessarily inspired. So you've got 2 weeks that you got a week off, and then you come back and you're uninspired to play the Raiders. You might be more inspired to play the Jets next week because that's a divisional game, and it just ends up meaning a lot more. By the way, that's another thing about this game that was really good. This was a conference win too, which is also important. Bills, by the way, are driving on the Jets, and they already lead 6-0. They've got the ball like at the Jets' 26, 27-yard line. So they're looking for more points now at this juncture. Do want to remind you, of course, our friends at EJDconstruction.com, proud sponsors of our platform. And, of course, if you are looking in Dade or Broward County, you are looking for custom home construction or major home remodeling, you call my guy, Eric, and this is his personal cell number, 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843. And I'm telling you, if fully insured, liability and workers' comp. So if anybody gets injured in your property, don't worry about it. You will not get sued because they are fully insured. And remember, if you don't hire EJD Construction or even Cutter's Edge Pro for landscaping, they're both fully insured. If you're going to hire somebody to go work on your property, that's just a tip from you, okay? Make sure they're fully insured because it puts you at risk if they get injured. You can get sued. And you're like, you're suing me because you got injured? Yeah. And by the way, these workers, they know the laws better than you do. Okay? So please, whether it's EJD Construction or Cutter's Edge, or if you don't want to hire them and you choose to hire somebody else, I beg you, make them prove to you they are fully insured before they step onto your property. You don't need any problems. It's not fair to you. Walsh was a great coach and GM. I don't think he gets enough credit for drafting a Pro Bowl secondary in 81. Then he reloaded the team in the 86 draft. They drafted 8 eventual starters that were key. Yeah, it was – DeBartolo was a great owner. He would spend the money. And then obviously Walsh was a genius. And he was, the guy that was the trendsetter when it came to offenses. So, yeah, I'm with you 1,000%. Dude. Walsh is, I think people of our age, we give him plenty of credit. Okay? Plenty of credit. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And you can make a Bitcoin donation. Peter German says, Big O, I think the Dolphins have a great QB and a smart head coach. Tua has all the intangibles. What do you think about McDaniel giving Tua pregame plays for 3rd and 4th and short and allow him freedom to call at the line? Will eliminate delays and coach overthinking himself. I don't think that McDaniel wants anybody doing his job. That's the way I'm going to look at it, my brother, because he's just that guy that wants to be making those play calls. Now, I will say this where I agree with you, Peter. And even though I think he won't do it, I do believe he should give. Now, maybe we're a year away from that. Let's be honest now. Not right now, because Tua has yet, while he is obviously one of the better quarterbacks in the league, he still has to improve overall. He still has to now sharpen up here these turnovers and decision making. So, not that he's a bad quarterback, average, he's an exceptional quarterback, but he has to tweak a couple things. And I think we're not at the point yet where he is mastering everything, right? So I think you might be another year away from that. And then I think it gets to a point where Tua will have, I think, more freedoms in the offense, because he might see something late that he'll be able to adjust to, and McDaniel won't be able to, because, you know, the headset's off at the 15-second mark. So I love your thinking, but I'm thinking that we're not there yet, because he's still only in the second year of the system. And I'm not sure McDaniel has put everything in. I'm not sure McDaniel has entrusted his team with everything that he's thinking about. So I think there's still a level of learning for everybody in this offense. And so until you get to a point where I think you're maybe 3 or 4 years down, where you have a lot of continuity with guys, including your quarterback, then I think that kind of leeway or flexibility or confidence is then given to the player. So it might be a little premature, because this relationship is only a year and a half. Okay, that's the way I would answer that. Let's talk Phinz. Thank you for the love in the super chat. Says Tua did not play good today, and it scares me. That doesn't scare me. It's just so you're telling me that players aren't allowed to have off days? You don't have an off day? I have them all the time. There's some days that maybe, hey, today it was kind of boring and not bringing any information to the table, or not an edge, or whatever it is, and you may not be happy with me, and that's very possible. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Petrunt, back-to-back games where opponents was shut out in the second half. Defense waking up big time. We've been waiting for it, and now it's happening. You're right. You're right. Defense has been pretty special lately, man. Been a lot of fun. Anthony Perez, thank you for the love in the super chat. Big O help. I will be in Toronto next week. Any bars your fans can recommend to watch the Friday game? Can we help them out there? Toronto, do we have any listeners in Toronto? Where can Anthony Perez go enjoy the Miami Dolphins game on Friday? Please help us out. Any listeners in Toronto? And then Let's Talk Phinz again sends in a little more love in the super chat, and that is very nice of you. Do we have any press conferences? Who do we have? All right, we're going to play Mike McDaniel for you so you can hear the head coach talk a little bit and address this very close victory. Okay? Appreciate all of you out there. Don't forget, if your business wants to be a part of our platform, 786-754-4664 is our business line. 786-754-4664. You ready? All right, we are going to go to Mike McDaniel. He just addressed the media. Let's hear what the man had to say. I guess we're a little slow here. So is the internet a little slow there for you or something? Responding or something? He's trying. Big O, I live in Toronto, but Tua might not be the QB. Oh, he's the QB, dude. Relax.
Like you guys,
There you go.
I think you guys put up the yardage that we're kind of accustomed to seeing, but 20 points. What would you say was maybe the biggest thing hurting the offense, or kind of that led to the offense performance today?
No, and 2 fumbles, and then we didn't take advantage of the one time we got down there, and it was 4th and 1, so we turned it over on downs. And then there was just some things. We'd usually get the drive started. I think we had only one or maybe 2 3-and-outs. But, you know, there'd be something, whether there's a holding call or, you know, something we'd shoot ourselves in the foot. So, you know, those are the things that you expect in an NFL game. You don't expect to score. You don't expect to score 30 every time. I think I think our crew will feel as though they had the ability to for this game. But you know, hats off to the Raiders team in general. That's a 5-win team that played as hard as anybody here at Hard Rock, and you know they get paid too. So we'll learn from the stuff that we can and get better from it. But ultimately, you know, it's a team game, and you know when you do come up short offensively, you need somebody to pick up the slack. And to have 2 fumbles on the 30-ish yard line on your own in your own territory, and have that equals 6 points, I believe, and then to you know have a couple very timely interceptions. You know, that's what you have to do to win in the National Football League. You're not always going to supremely execute on one side of the ball or the other. So,
did you feel there was some rust in the operation a little bit coming off the bye?
Not in the. You know, I didn't feel that during the game. You know, there was there weren't that many. I was happy with the overall operation. There was times that you know we were changing the play based on unanticipated defensive personnel changes. They were trying to pretty much keep us off balance and not have a pattern. So. There was a couple times that we were late in the play clock, but overall I thought the operation was solid.
One more question on the offense, if I could. 3 of the last 4 weeks now haven't been up to, I'd imagine, the standard you would want. Has there been something common, or has it just been 3 bad games?
No, I mean, I guess to the, you know, I look at a game like this is not necessarily a bad game. It's a game that we came up a little short, and then I wouldn't see any consistency with that in terms of like a pattern. I think I don't know. I believe you just. How many yards do we have?
Probably over 400. Yeah.
So, I mean that's hard to do. So, I again, we'll always be super critical. To call it a bad game, I think would be, I guess, hats off to us for raising your standard. But that I think I was really happy with the way the guys approached coming off the bye. You know, I think you learn a lot about people, how they handle. You probably learn more how they handle failures than successes, and I thought guys were intentional and deliberate to another level this week. You know, I think that our team in general has kind of captured the idea of worrying about ourselves, and each opponent is very threatening, and you have to bring your best. I think there's some stuff that we'll really see in the film in the run game that we could have had more in. They were just kind of playing soft, and and really, really wide. Their alignments were different, so there was some space there, and I thought we could have had more. But overall, I'd just like to see us hang on to the ball and not have some of the mistakes that really kind of cost us. But it was the first game that I can remember not playing with Durham Smythe, and we lost Achan early, and
there we go. That's the head coach. Doesn't look like there's much. You know what? Safid Dean heard this whole thing. Let's get to our BaptistHealth.net/ortho Miami Dolphins postgame reports.
Let's get the latest from the Aqua and Orange with our Baptist Health of South Florida Miami Dolphins report with USA Today insider Safid Dean. From orthopedics, sports medicine, cardiovascular, and even cancer. Get the world-class healthcare your family deserves at BaptistHealth.net. Here's Safid Dean.
All right. There he is, Safid. It was ugly, but at least it was a victory, right? Because the Chargers had an ugly game and they lost.
The Chargers lose every game they play, man. The Chargers suck.
Right?
Yes. The Chargers find a way to lose every game, and the Dolphins find a way to hold on in this one. Look, we are very spoiled as Dolphins fans here. 422 yards, and you're questioning the offense in this one, right? Even Mike McDaniel said, hey, we raised the standards, and that's right. When you go out and score 70 points, and then you only put up 21 points, right? Was it 21? Barely. So,
20%.
So when you put up 70 points and then put up 20, it looks like a dud, but you win the game, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, to me, it was more about the turnovers, the bad decisions. Those are the things that Tua, bro, stop diving forward, dude. What the hell is wrong with you? Slide.
Yeah, Tua's always going to be himself and play like that.
Yeah, but you're gonna blow your shoulder out, an elbow, or jam a wrist, or fumble. Slide and there's no fumble, and whether you get the first down or not, who cares, bro? You dive when it's the end of a game. You dive when it's the playoffs. You dive when it's the Super Bowl. Not in the early part of a game that doesn't mean shit at that moment.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things here. Mike going for it on fourth and God. 4th and 1 where Tyreek got hurt. They could have kicked the field goal there. I understand why they went for the points and they messed up. They could have kicked the field goal there and tied it up there. And then I questioned Mike about going for it on 5 seconds left at the end of the half, and Tua holds onto the ball way too long. Then he gets drilled in the back. Just a bad execution at that point too. I understand where Mike is coming from, because when I saw the Dolphins do that at halftime against the Chargers, and it was the reason why they won the game, it was just much more better execution. They also had more time on the clock. This one was just 5 seconds. Like, take the knee and realize, you can just get out of here. I think the Dolphins were going to be in trouble this game. When you lost Achan in the first quarter and then Hill got hurt, you're worried about the whole prospect of the whole season right there, right? And we'll see. I mean, they still have to do an evaluation on Achan. Mike did say that they had a good evaluation or heard great from them, from the medical team, but they didn't want to push him, to come back in this game. Not sure if he's going to play on Friday against the Jets, and not sure, who knows what's going to come back after they really, really evaluate him on Monday or, Monday morning as the week gets started.
Well, with Achan, I think they're going to have to pace him a little bit more and not give. I think it became so enticing because he was producing at a sick rate. Maybe they've, because from what I remember, the talk was a 5 to 10 carry guy. And then all of a sudden it became a lot more than that. And I think that maybe what they have to do is pace the kid a little bit more and have him be more of a, part of a group of running backs instead of being maybe the focal point with Mostert.
Yeah, no, Mostert has to be the focal point here. He's the most healthy one right now. And like you said, the fact that they had such good success with him, you can obviously see why they want him back. I mean, Achan is going to be the X factor for the rest of this year, regardless of, how it kind of shakes out. You want to know what you have in him when he comes back, and Hopefully there's a really good return on, if he does MRI or something after the game, for Monday morning. Mike McDaniel pretty much said that, the second drive, I believe, in the game, he kind of got rolled over a little bit, or landed on, excuse me. And then after that moment, it was kind of, all right, let's take him out. And then they kind of got an encouragement word on him. HN had his helmet in the second half, came out with it when, and he didn't hold his helmet at all at the end of the first half. So something to keep an eye on for sure. You're just hoping an MRI comes back clean on that. And, I don't even know about the Jets game because that turf over there at MetLife is still something to worry about when it comes to knee injuries and things like that. So I can understand the guys have to play. It's a tough game. They're going to be on TV, just them by themselves on a Friday afternoon. But, we'll see how the Dolphins do this week. This is a big week for the Dolphins coming up. It was good to get their feet wet again in the game. It was good to, get back on the field after pretty much, 2 weeks without, since their last game. But things are going to ramp up really quickly for them this week.
Let me ask you, so you see lately, and I'm a big Tua guy, but lately he's had too many turnovers.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like I was talking about this. Confident athletes, they have a confidence that most of us don't have unless we're doing what we normally do, whatever it is in our walk of lives. I don't care if it's washing cars. I don't care if you're an architect. I don't care if you're a broadcaster. I don't care if you're a salesperson, whatever. If you're good at what you do, you're going to have this extra level of confidence that you can do things that other people can't. So is it more about confidence? Is it more about being irresponsible a little bit? Maybe he is not, maybe he's not taking care of the football the way he's supposed to. Or what is your theory on why Tua lately has been a little irresponsible with the football?
When you see Steph Curry pull up from 45, 50, right, and he makes it, there's no reason why you question it, right?
Right.
Because you know what the guy can do when he makes it. So Tua and the Dolphins just scored 70 points on offense. We literally spoke about all offseason how Tua doesn't have confidence, right, in the offense and things like that. It just happened to come in the last year with Mike McDaniel here. The first 2 years of his career, he's been told to not turn the ball over, and now he's been told to take shots down the field and see what you have here. And look who they have. He's throwing a Waddle and Hill, man. Two of the best receivers, one of the best receiver combos.
Okay, but when Waddle is surrounded by three people, you may not want to throw that ball, bro.
Sometimes you want to let it fly too. I support it. I support it because of the fact that look at where this kid came from, man. We were not having him throw the ball here. He was not throwing the ball here when he was doing this, things like that. You know what I mean? He was told to not turn the ball over, and then it made him timid. There's no more timid into it now. You used to worry about it. You used to see Ryan Fitzpatrick will come into the game and be like, man, it's so cool to see Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki getting an inch of separation and getting the ball because the ball was thrown to him. Now you have Tua Tagovailoa trying to throw guys open and trying to make some things fit in some windows that he knows can fit in certain windows at certain times. Those plays that you're talking about where Waddle's, surrounded by three players, those are plays that have worked for them in the past. So if Waddle, if Tua thinks he can throw it in a keyhole, by all means, let him make those plays. Let him make those mistakes. He rebounds after mistakes more than, better than any other person that we've seen when they do turn the ball over. And you know what? This is a team that they can get it against. You know what I mean? The Dolphins knew what they had on the other side of the football there. The Raiders don't scare you, right? Their quarterback situation doesn't scare you or anything like that. No, that's why they kind of played toward the hand of that. That's why Mike is kicking field goals in the second half, and they only got 6 points. They played to the defense in this one and got out of it with the win.
Is Mike McDaniel still giving up on the run too much?
Why would you say that?
The third and short. Fourth
no, I mean, no. I think
because I think by now, do we know that the Tyreek screen thing doesn't work? He fumbled last week and you got him injured this week. Smythe couldn't block it, and now Craycraft couldn't block it. So why do you keep running the same stupid play that doesn't work when you can just hand it off to?
Yeah, that play has worked in the past, so I can see why they go to it. That situation in particular, I just wish they would have kicked the field goal and tied the game.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to live to play another down, live to play another series. I mean, it was early in the game. They had just had a field goal over you. Like, I can understand why you want to go for 7. I can understand why, everything, all the thinking behind it, right? Even if you mess up, the defense can, take the field over on that. And, the Raiders didn't really do much with that after that, I believe, right? Did they score after that sequence?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure, but, that's kind of where you hope they take a smarter thing. I think Mike having that play 4th and 1, I can understand why he went for it, but just kick the field goal and come back and score 7 on the next drive, right? Come away with points. Don't not leave points on the table. And then when I look back at the end of the first half, that was my big situation there. You know what? I'm happy that they did what they did with Jason Sanders in this half as well too. Missed the field goal, kicked the field goal, kicked another field goal. You need to have your field goal kicker. And if Mike was going to make a play call and ice Jason Sanders, that could be detrimental for him for the rest of the season too. So I kind of like the fact that Mike kind of, was patient and played to the defense a little bit in the second half there.
What do you do about the kicker?
You trot him out there and have him keep kicking, man. Trot him out there and have him keep kicking. Look, he missed one from 50 and hit the next one from 51. You have to treat him like you treat Tua.
I'd like to dig around the building and find out what was the reasoning why they kept his ass.
He had a great year one year. What was that, 2020? Had a great year.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago already.
Yeah, this is the end of the contract.
For the last year and a half. Man, it's just, brother, he just doesn't look like you can trust him.
Yeah, Jason Sanders is a really quirky case. I liked him when he was with who's the old special teams coach here that we loved, man?
Oh, yes, Rizzo.
Yeah, Rizzi. Yeah, Darren Rizzi. Loved him with him. He was with Rizzi, with this guy, I'm not sure. But look, the right things happened in this game for him. He missed one, and they didn't call a play to take him away from kicking again. In fact, he kicked 2 more field goals, and he nailed both of those opportunities right down the middle. So you have to work with it.
All right. By the way, Steve M has a question for you on Venmo. He said, over the last 4 games, Eagles, Pats, KC, and today, how many of those were off games versus good games? And he's talking about Tua. And Safid, did he bounce back after his deep interception against Philly? He didn't score a TD in the entire second half today. What are you talking about, dude? He usually plays better after an interception.
That's what I said too, yeah. Look, you're talking about a 4-game window here where, they didn't light it up, yeah. Okay, but and are we giving them too high expectations because they lit it up in the Broncos game? Yeah, definitely we are. And look at the games that they won in that span, right? Let me pull up the schedule here. What was the games again that you said? Chiefs, Eagles, last 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and what do you come out with? 2-2, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said Eagles, Pats, KC, and today.
Yeah, you're playing the last 2 teams that went to the Super Bowl, and then 2 cupcake teams. So being 2-2 out of that, not fine. We're obviously where you kind of come up short against the Super Bowl teams. They're a lot more physical than you. They can stop the run, and when they slow down the run, you don't know what to do from an offensive standpoint. So when you look at the whole envelope of things, I like I told you before, I want to see the operation get better. They're about to go to the Jets game on Friday, and who knows how loud that place will be. But getting the operation together, getting things a lot more smoothly and called correctly and communicated well, those are things that I want to see. And, you have to beat the teams that are in front of you. They haven't beat the teams that the Chiefs and Eagles when they played them. So be it. You have the rest of the season here to really improve and figure out what's going on and how to toughen up a little bit to play better down the stretch of the season when you play better games like, you're going to have the Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills in the final 3. So still plenty of football left to play, but still you're hoping to get another win this week against the Jets. This is a big week too. The Jets are not something to be slept on. Their offense is, but not that defense.
No, definitely not. Just watching Zach the MILF Wilson throw an interception now. All right.
What's his name? I missed that. What was his name?
Zach the MILF Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that day. That's a good day for him.
He's the MILF hunter, man. What do you got, Sean?
Well, Rich Cimini put out a stat on Zach Wilson.
Oh.
Season pass attempts and TD passes. He's done 306 attempts, 5 touchdowns. Tommy DeVito, 73 attempts, 5 touchdowns.
Nice.
Yeah. Mid and mid. That's why the reason the Raiders lost today, because they didn't face those two guys.
That's right. That's right. All right, what do you got going on in the USA Today?
Yeah, I'm gonna be definitely checking out the Devin A Chain thing tomorrow with them. Obviously gonna be working the I won't be working. I'll be home, but Friday, looking forward to working that game from home here in Miami. And we'll see, man. Tyreek Hill had something really great to say about Jalen Ramsey, that the way he extended and got that interception at the end of the game, then got the ball knocked out of him. Game on the line. That was the play right there. If Ramsey didn't go up and get it, who knows if the other guy would have. You know what I mean? We could have had a tied game, went to overtime, having a whole another different conversation here. But on a day when the offense left a lot to be desired, and Tua was turning the ball over, they didn't light him up like we all thought they were going to. Jalen Ramsey was the brightest star on the field.
No doubt.
So,
only guy
great.
better than Jalen would have been Noah Igbenogany. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, nobody else would have been able to do what Jalen did. Noah, yes, but it is what it is. Follow him on Twitter at Safid_Dean. Safid, as always, thank you, my brother. We will catch up on Tuesday.
Have a good one, Big O.
You got it. There you go. The great Safid Dean. Yes, our BaptistHealth.net/ortho. Miami Dolphins postgame report. And when it comes to our friends at Baptist Health, the staff at Baptist County. No, it's not working. All right. Here we go. And now we go from one report to another with David Furones and our Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins postgame report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
Is the man, the myth, the legend. That is David Furones. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
I'm doing well. Yeah. This is the only place where I get referred to as a myth or a legend, but I appreciate it.
We love you, brother. We love you. We appreciate it. And by the way, you asked those questions for Mr. McDaniel on Butch Berry. That's pretty good stuff, man. He got deep, bro.
Yeah. Those who pay attention to the Big O show heard it first on the Thursday program.
Yes.
They knew it was coming.
Yeah, man. So I'm interested. I can't wait till you ask Butch and see his response on all of that too, because he's the one that's had to live it. You know what I mean? So it's actually pretty cool. Today was not cool. What was Tua's reaction to his day? Because you can look at the stats and say, well, he threw for over 300 yards. He threw a couple of touchdowns, but the mistakes, the interceptions lately, he's been forcing it a little too much. He's a little loose with the football in my eyes. And then the diving. Kid, you got to slide, bro. No more diving. Diving can open you up to all kinds of injuries and a fumble, which is what ended up happening. So talk to me a little bit about Tua's reaction and how did he handle when you guys were talking about, taking care of the football?
Yeah, well, Tua actually got out in front of it before there was even a question about the turnovers. Yeah, you know how Tua is. He took it upon himself. So I think my colleague Chris Perkins was asking him something about the run game, and then you could tell he just went in with he wanted to make sure he got it off his chest that he felt those turnovers were unacceptable, and he took it on the chin, took the brunt of it. That he does not want to play like that at the quarterback position. And even then, like you said, overall the game was still pretty solid when you look at it. 28 of 39, 325, and had the 2 touchdowns. But what sticks with him, because he's the perfectionist that he is the interception and the fumble loss. And those were some tough turnovers. Obviously, the lost fumble was in Dolphins territory, and then and it led to 3 points, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall correctly. And then it was just a miscommunication kind of on the route. Jalen Waddle going underneath the safety, and then Tua was still throwing to him as if he was maintaining his route going deep with depth. So that was the issue on that interception, as Mike McDaniel explained it.
It's just one, and then the fumble. He's got to slide, bro. No more diving. All these kind of things. Why do you think he's a little? Is he overconfident right now? Because that's the only thing I can blame it on, almost, because he's not dumb, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not that he doesn't have an ounce of stupidity in him. He's a really smart guy, so he's got to understand that. So to me, it's the confidence of these athletes, of anybody. I don't give a shit what it is in life. I don't care if you're a trial lawyer. If you're a really good one, you're probably going to be a cocky, confident one. You know what I'm saying? So is it too much confidence? What is it about him right now that he's not taking care of the football the way he's supposed to?
Yeah, well, I'll throw another word in. There's his competitiveness. The diving forward on a play where he's scrambling, and he turns into a football player in that moment, or any other position player, not just a quarterback. In his mentality, we've seen it a couple times where he tries to lower the shoulder on a guy. They have to get it through his head. Slide in these cases. I actually can't recall how close he was, if it meant him getting the first down or not on that play. I can't recall, but that's who he is. He's scrambling. He wants to fight for the extra yardage at that point and dive forward. Now it cost him in that particular circumstance.
Mike McDaniel, talk to me a little bit about the Tyreek Hill screen. It's not working, bro. And you got a fumble last week, and you got Tyreek injured this week. Smythe and Craycraft can't block it. Why do they continue to call it?
Yeah, and then postgame, Mike McDaniel actually said he liked the play call and felt it would have worked, but there was some execution with it that went awry. Now, we saw you're down there in at the 3-yard line, short yardage going into the end zone. Obviously, it sort of shrinks the playbook. You don't have all your options there, so I could see why sometimes you go to something like that and let Tyreek Hill make something happen. But it's also more closed quarters down there, so it's not like he has the whole open field to work with. So it didn't work in that case. It's a tough circumstance. But then a lot of these short yardage situations, you don't have the trust in the run game to go to the run game instead. Even earlier when he kicked on the 4th and 1 that some fans were booing over the Jason Sanders being trotted out for the 51-yarder on 4th and 1. They had 2nd and 1 and 3rd and 1 before that, and those were pass plays too. And if they would have gone for it, I imagine that it would have been another pass play, and you would have risked maybe going 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, and 4th and 1, throwing incomplete passes and not picking it up. But they ended up getting the field goal in that circumstance. But not having the faith in the run game is another thing in those short yardage situations.
Injuries, my brother. A couple people got banged up. Obviously, Achan is the one that we're really worried about, because it looked like there was a serious setback there. Even though he came back with the helmet, he really didn't, participate overall. Tua got a little banged up at the end of the half. Tyreek got banged up, came back. Give me the latest. What do we know about any of the injuries?
Yeah, let's start with Devon Achane. So he got landed on that play. Like his second touch early in the game, and his first game back. So unfortunate there. Mike McDaniel said he got landed on the same knee that he had come back from. So unfortunate first game back after missing the 4 games, and he had just been activated off IR. But he wanted to go back into the game, McDaniel said, but the team was holding him back, so didn't want any aggravation. So definitely a lot of these things you find out more that next day after seeing how he rests off of it. So that'll be key tomorrow when we get those updates. And we have an early availability tomorrow, so maybe even there's not much yet that has been determined at that point, but team obviously hoping for the best there. Tyreek Hill, he went back in the game but hurt his hand. He said it was just a little painful. He said he got a quick x-ray, so obviously he was cleared to go back in off of that, and tried to tape it up, said it couldn't really feel comfortable with it like that, so went ahead and went without it. And then there's also Savon Ahmed later in the game, so to be determined there. But now the Dolphins, if they're in a situation where they don't have Ahmed and Achane, obviously now you're Jeff Wilson was already healthy and active for this game, so you didn't have him to go in late in this game. It was kind of all on Raheem Mostert as you were going to go heavy to the run game, protecting a lead. So it'll be Mostert and Jeff Wilson in that case, and then you probably need to bring up a third back on the practice squad and elevate him if you're going to need someone for the quick turnaround Friday against the Jets.
How is the schedule going to be handled this week? Because obviously Tuesday's the off day. Tomorrow will be the off day instead. Is that how it is? And then the rest of the week is the work week?
Yeah, at least the one practice that we have access to is on Wednesday. So I imagine then it will get, those injury reports that are an estimation of what participation would have been. And then Wednesday's a true practice. So that's what it'll be.
Wednesday's a walkthrough, dude. Because that's like a Friday practice.
Yeah, well, they'll have to readjust the schedule.
Because they're not really going to have, unless Tuesday would be the only day that they're really going to have. Because I almost felt like this week when you saw a lot of the light practice, I almost felt like, well, they're going to have a short week next week. They didn't want to wear them out too much, so try to keep them as fresh as you can over the next 2 weeks. And that's why I'm thinking that Tuesday will be the only real day of practice, and then Wednesday will be like a Friday walkthrough, because then Thursday is Saturday and then Friday is Sunday. So I would imagine that really the day you guys are giving you access, it's like a Friday, really. It's not
I
really,
see what you're saying. 2 days before the actual game day.
Yeah.
That's what we have been given as far as the one practice that we're seeing. So I don't know if there is extra practice going on, but
I doubt there's any heavy practices this week.
Right. And I believe they have to open a practice viewing period for any practice that is actually per league rules. So it could just be a very light week. Just get healthy, get rested for the Friday game. We see it a lot of time. Whenever there's a Thursday night game, it has to be something like that that's reworked.
Yeah, it's more mental reps than anything else in classroom stuff, because physically you just can't wear them out because it's a short week, unfortunately, for them. So their bodies are still freaking sore as hell by the time, Thursday rolls around. It's still sore. So I would imagine Friday's going to be the same, thing. This game, when you look at it, it's a 3:30 game, right?
Or 3 or 3:30, I believe 3.
Right? 3 o'clock. Wow, dude. I wonder how that messes with their body clock this week, right?
Yeah. A lot of different factors. Yeah, you never play a 3 o'clock kickoff. This is actually the first Friday game. Friday. Yeah, these guys haven't played Friday since high school. Maybe there was like a random Friday, like UM is going to play on Friday too. So maybe there was like a random college week that these guys played Fridays, but very unusual case here for these players.
The defense has turned the corner, haven't they? I mean, the way Chubb is playing and Phillips, I thought Wilkins had a really good game today. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey was a monster today, and having Jalen Ramsey back has kind of just opened everything up for Vic Fangio. If the offense can get back on track and do what they're supposed to do, Dolphin fans could have something special down the line.
Yeah, there's multiple ways this team can win games. So even when the offense doesn't have its best game and has these turnovers, and sure, from a yardage standpoint, the offense was still okay and maybe executed. The operation was there for a lot of it. Mike McDaniel said there wasn't rust on that side per se, but that the defense can go and win you a game as well. And Jalen Ramsey, my God, those 2 interceptions were just incredibly athletic, acrobatic. Those are plays that other DBs, they are at best looking at a PBU if they're lucky. Like that first one, he's diving for it. At best, so most DBs, even the top tier ones, can maybe get some fingertips on it to hopefully deflect it. But he sees those same type of plays as opportunities for turnovers. So, like Mike McDaniel said, I'm hoping they throw his way, and you see why, because there's a lot of plays that are just he's in the 99th percentile of what he can do with those balls coming his way.
All right, David Furones joining us. You can follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. What do you got going on the Sun Sentinel so fans can check you out, man?
Man, finishing up the coverage of this game, the Devon Achane updates, and then looking into tomorrow. Quick turnaround, just getting into the Jets week, and then they have another availability tomorrow. So be right there for McDaniel, and then I'll figure out my Jet storylines. Then make it through today.
You got it. All right, there you go, David. Appreciate you, my brother. We'll catch up on Tuesday.
Yeah, sounds good.
You got it. There you go, David Furones. Coming through for us, Welt and Rayom, by the way. If you need a law office that you can count on, I know because I experienced it firsthand. We have Progressive Insurance. They weren't really being cooperative, and they weren't willing to do what they're supposed to do in order to fix everything and put it back to where it was. Well, Welt and Rayom brought them to their knees, and that's when Progressive then had to do it. And they ended up firing the person that was dealing with Welt and Rayom because Welt and Rayom ran circles around them. So these are the kind of lawyers you want. This is the kind of law firm that actually cares about you. Jeff is a great dude. Dan's amazing. They are a dynamic duo. Call Dan or Jeff. And by the way, the consultation is completely free. So if you think you have a case, Jeff will tell you if you have a case. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, personal injury, business owner claims, condo damage, criminal defense, homeowner property damage, commercial litigation. They do it for you. Welt and Rayom.
This has been another session of the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welt and Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welt and Rayom can help.
All right. MK says need more balance on offense, too one-dimensional. You're right. You're right. The running game, man, they got to get back to the running game has got to get back on track. All right. Anything else there, Sean? What are you going to say?
Well, no, I'm on Zach Wilson duty here since he's playing right in front of us. So far, he's now 3 of 9 for 47 yards and interception. He's been sacked 3 times. Thomas Morstead, the punter, is 1 for 1 for 18 yards.
Our boy.
I'm starting to think maybe we should just put him in a quarterback.
Why not? God, it's amazing how bad Zach Wilson is. Like, really, he has zero business being a starter in the NFL. And to think that people fell in love with a workout, it is embarrassing, dude. And especially, at least the Jamarcus Russell one, which is considered the greatest workout by anybody ever, but at least you saw him at LSU like kick ass. In the SEC, this kid played at BYU and, he wasn't kicking ass. And so then a workout inside a dome, and people fell in love with a specific throw he made where there's no real defense, no weather, no pressure, nothing. And it is amazing to me how people fell hook, line, and sinker for that young man solely on a workout. A workout, dude. That's insanity.
It's also like you say every day. They fall in love with the arm queens. It's
right.
the same
thing.
Same thing,
dude. Just because you have a big arm means you're going to be a great quarterback. No, it doesn't. It doesn't even come close to it. And people have not figured that out. So the Bills are playing the Jets right. They know the Jets offense cannot score. Oh, yeah, no, that game's over already.
Yeah, to update you, it's Bills 16, Jets nothing right before the half. At halftime, the Seahawks lead the Rams 13-7. And just out of halftime, 49ers lead the Buccaneers 20-7.
Yeah. I want to thank Yanira and Joe and all the great people out here at Walk-Ons. We're going to be back here December 31st next month for the Ravens game. So the 1 o'clock Ravens game will be out here. We'll bring a bunch of prizes. We'll have some fun. So come on out and join us before you do all your New Year's stuff. Come on out and join us at Walk-Ons. We'll have all kinds of giveaways. We thank Sean Stanley, of course, the man, the myth, the legend that puts it all together and drives it. Got to thank my lovely wife also for helping us out. Safid Dean, David Furones, great insight as always. I appreciate all of you who tuned in, locked it in, sent in a super chat, or, of course, anytime you're listening, you can send in a Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Send in any question, comment, insult, whatever it is. And, of course, you can send in a Bitcoin donation, which we always love, our Bitcoin donations. Yes, sir, Sean. You grab the mic.
Yeah, no, I was just waiting because when you say hasta la vista, 7-3, baby. 7-3.
7-3, my man. Jay's in the house. Appreciate him. We will see you all tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel. We'll see you at 10 a.m. Go Dolphins, 7-3.
This has been the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings. Get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDConstruction.com. 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. On behalf of all our staff, we thank you for supporting us. Have a fantastic week.